Skill trees are an incredibly important aspect of Texas Chainsaw, and they greatly influence how every character will perform. Today we're going to be going over all of the best skill tree routes for every family member in TCM. Please keep in mind that all of the routes we go over today are just my personal opinion, and there are lots of really strong routes to pick from. Before we get started today, I wanted to let you all know that I make tons of Texas Chainsaw content here on the channel, so if you enjoy what you see today, consider dropping a like or subscribing, as it helps me to continue making these videos. Additionally, this video has been divided into timestamps, so you can easily find any family member you may be looking for. Also, just a heads up, we have TCM map layouts available in our community Discord, and I regularly live stream over on Twitch, so come on by, link in the description. Additionally, comment down below if you'd like to see a victim skill tree video in the future. But let's jump right in. First up on our list today, we've got the star of the show, Leatherface. For his skill tree, I like to get some savagery and blood-based perks due to the fact that stamina doesn't have nearly as large of an impact on this family member. You want to start by pulling off to the left and obtaining feral and big swings. Big swings is hands down one of my favorite Leatherface perks, as his attacks are not tied to stamina, and this can make him quite a menace. After obtaining those perks, fill out the surrounding areas and head up to your next crossroads. At this next fork in the road, you'll want to take a right and pick up Universal Donor. This is a very strong perk for any family member in my opinion, and it can really help you to keep pace with victims in terms of getting Grandpa leveled up. From here, you'll continue upwards, grabbing 2-cycle charge and reaching your next crossroads. Here, you'll want to take a left and obtain a random perk alongside the Grandpa ability, Brute Strength. I find Brute Strength to be a very good supportive ability to the weaker family members while still working off of those high savagery killers. Next up on our list, we've got the Cook. For this skill tree, I like to grab some perks that are strong with the Cook's padlocks while also grabbing some endurance-based perks to help him out in that category. You want to start by pulling upwards towards Unrelenting, and in this area, you'll be able to pick up Exterior Alarms. I find this to be a pretty good Grandpa ability for the Cook, as it can provide some additional information in dire situations. From here, you'll reach a crossroads and you'll want to pull to the right in order to gain some extra attribute points before picking up Scout. Scout is a very solid perk on the Cook due to his lack of endurance, and this can help him act on any information he obtains. From here, you'll reach another crossroads and you'll want to head left. This will grant you security pins, which is one of the best perks for the Cook, and it adds a ton of in-game slowdown for victims. From here, just continue upwards to collect your final Grandpa ability, the perk Surgical, and those other random perks. Up next, we've got the Hitchhiker. For this skill tree, you'll end up sacrificing a lot of other solid perks and abilities, but in return, you'll be obtaining one of the best perks TCM has to offer on the family side of things. This is a highly endurance-based route that is designed to help the Hitchhiker best fulfill his role. You want to kick things off by heading to the right to obtain Slow and Steady and fill out the other parts of this branch. There's not too much to write home about in this first little stretch, but I did want to mention it may be worth respecking your first random perk until you obtain Scout. After you reach a crossroads, you'll want to pull left in order to obtain Fired Up and Well-Fed Youngins. This newly obtained perk and ability can be supportive options for stamina-based builds. Right after that, continue until you obtain Wireframe, and this is where the route is really worth its weight in gold. Not only is this perk one of the strongest in the game, it's also exclusively available on Hitchhiker. It provides so much chase potential and adds a lot of extra pressure onto the victims. From here, you'll reach another fork in the road and you'll want to veer right to pick up Tenderizer and Exterior Alarms. Finally, you'll reach your last crossroad, and here you want to pull left in order to pick up Swinging for the Fences and a random perk. I found that Swinging for the Fences can help to give the family an extra edge in terms of attack consistency and output. Next up on our list, we've got Johnny. For this skill tree, you'll be grabbing a lot of perks that play off of his aggressive tracking skills. Additionally, you'll be picking up a few things that benefit the team as a whole while playing off of your savagery. You want to start by moving up towards Rage, and from here fill out the surrounding branches, and of course feel free to re-roll that random perk until you get something you like. At your next crossroads, you'll want to pull to the left in order to pick up You'll Pay for That. This perk feels especially strong on Johnny, as he can serve as a strong defense for Grandpa to victims who are attempting to sabotage your progress. From here, you'll pick up Tenderizer and reach your next fork on the road. Go ahead and pull to the left in order to gain some extra attribute points and a new random perk. I typically prefer this instead of the special blend route. Finally, you'll take a right at your final decision point in order to gain Slow and Steady alongside Suffocating Grip. I often find that Johnny ends up in a lot of close encounter situations due to his tracking ability, and Slow and Steady can be a nice addition to some builds. Last but certainly not least, we have Sissy's skill tree. For this tree, you'll be grabbing some blood-based perks and extremely strong Grandpa abilities to help her play off of her strongest playstyle. You You want to start this route off by heading to the right and obtaining Universal Donor, which is by far one of the most effective perks for this family member. From here, pick up exterior alarms and fill out the surrounding areas. At your first fork in the road, you'll want to head to the right in order to pick up Scout alongside some extra attribute points. Continue upwards, and at your next decision point, you're going to want to take a left. In this next section, you're going to be able to pick up some pretty strong perks and abilities. Both Excited Grandpa and Nobody Escapes Hell are available along this branch, and with how important Sissy's role is in feeding Grandpa, this is a really nice choice. Additionally, you'll gain the Efficient Herbalist and Slow and Steady perks, which can prove to be useful in many builds. Though there are other blood-based routes for Sissy's skill tree, I find this route to be particularly rewarding. Those are all of the best skill tree routes for each family member in TCM, and I hope you found this video to be helpful. Let me know down in the comments what path was your favorite, or if you have any other creative routes you thought up. Additionally, if there are any other videos or topics you would like to see covered, feel free to let me know what those are as well. Thank you all so much. We'll see you in the next one.